Hi everyone and welcome to Beer Bubbles Podcast. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, webshop and social medias. You can find everything at linktree.ee/beerbubbles. In this episode, Rasmus went to Bromma all on his own to interview Fredrik Statin at Television Brewing. Listen to the full story about what made this television producer want to make beer, and much, much more. Here we go. Enjoy.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world, as usual. I'm sitting here with Fredrik at the Television Brewing Company.
Yes.
Representing, of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming here.
Starting off, who are you and what's your beginning in the brewer's business?
Actually, I'm a TV producer, having a production company, and beer has always been my hobby. From that I was 17, 18, start brewing when I was 18, and then a couple of years ago I just found out that I didn't have any hobby anymore, so I should start brewing again. So I started up in my basement. It was about 10 years ago, maybe. And start brewing just for fun. But after 1 year, I've started thinking maybe I can do it a little bit bigger. Maybe. I've been working as an entrepreneur all my life. So all my hobbies and things, I tend to start working to do it for a living.
Okay.
And also this brewing got to be my living. I hope to be the living. It's not actually yet.
It must be quite difficult with the time management to have a production company and a brewery, don't you say? Or does it work out fine?
Yeah, it is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
But I have been thinking like, I have been working with my production company, and I have been doing quite big productions for Swedish television, which I'm really happy with. So I felt that I have reached my level, that this is what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have any bigger goals in the TV business. So to start a brewing business was a really new challenge for me, and a fun challenge. Mm. So and that's what keep me going. So I needed to do that, and now I have like 15 years to try to build a great and I don't know, big, I hope.
Well, I mean, the location we're at is the old Pripps Blå Bryggeriet, brewery. So Pripps Blå used to work here until 2004, I think.
Yeah.
2004, yeah, they did the last brew. Yeah, 2004.
Yes.
So, I mean, you have the space to expand, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's so big, and if you're walking in the basement and you see the old big rooms for where the fermenters were and so on, it's so big you can't believe it.
It's quite huge, and you can still see like some of the equipment left behind, or around in the roof, and which they built before.
Yeah, you have lots of equipment left, and it is not allowed to change because it's for the cultural reasons. So the brew house is still there. It's a little bit modified because you can sit in it. It's like an office.
Okay. A brew office, right?
So a little bit changes, but yeah, lots of things are left. But what is fun, I really love this location because I feel it's a little bit like the Brooklyn of Stockholm. It's like a really cool location. It's this brick walls, and you have this really big building near to the water. So I really like this industrial
yeah, it's quite interesting coming here. It's like, where am I going? But it worked out fine. And I mean, the name of the brewery, Television Brewery. I mean, we don't have to go into detail of that. I can probably guess why you chose that name.
It is because that I'm working as a producer, and I always tend to take some things that is close to me. So I mean, when I also work with TV, I want to do with like subjects that I really is close to me, that I like, and also everything, and also when I'm doing the beers, it's tend to be like ideas that also are close to me. Åkeshov is like where I live, and Villa Sunrise, that's my home in France. It's called Villa Sunrise, and so I took a picture and sent it to my mother. She's good in painting, so she did some painting, and she helped me with that. So also close to use your...
Does she design all the labels, or just that one?
No, just that one. Okay. I'm like the designer of the labels, and I have an idea, and then I sometimes get help, but almost every time I do it, almost everything myself.
All right. So you... More dogs?
There is some dogs at the neighbors.
Yeah, one sleeping on the couch here as well. You have a few beers now in your assortment. You have a few IPAs and a Pils.
Yeah.
And you just brewed your first summer beer for Akkurat.
Yes.
How does that feel? Or rather, what's the type of beers you want to brew, and why? I mean, IPA and Pale Ale seems to be like the biggest concept for you right now.
Yeah. I mean, I brew the beers that I like, that I want to drink, and also want to brew beers that you can have more than one glass of. So actually, I'm very happy if you say on the second glass that, I really like this beer, so that the second glass is better than the first glass. So it should have a good drinkability. It's I think a beer should work with the social, and so that's what I'm thinking. And also into pale ale, I like also in the IPA, I like the classic style. I mean, what you got 10-15 years ago, that might not be so very hoppy and more classic style, and that what I was trying to do with the Akkurat Pale Ale, to bring like an old recipe for a pale ale. Of course, with a little touch of
the
modern touch, because otherwise it's not really good, I think. but yeah, classic styles with a modern twist, I think.
Yeah.
Not so extreme in some ways, and also pale and light beers.
Yeah. I mean, with the Åkeshov Pale Ale, you have mostly classic styles. It's very clean and very bit of the bitter hoppiness to it as well. So that one, I think you went for the more classical style without the modern touch. Am I right?
Yeah. I think so. And in Åkeshov, it was just that I was start working with this malt that is coming from Warburg Farm. It's a local what's it, maltster. What's it called in English? I don't know.
Like a malt
malt
company.
company.
Where you get the malt from.
Yeah. And they're doing it by themselves there, and it's quite difficult to do that. So I'm really impressed that they are doing that. And but the malt is quite complex, and so just using one malt with one hop, I'm really surprised every time that you can get such complexity in the beer from just such an easy recipe.
Yeah, of course, but sometimes easy makes the best, you know? It doesn't have to be super complicated to get a good beer. Now it's really going on over there.
Yeah, so now it's heating up. But,
it's brewing the helicopter today.
Helicopter, yeah.
Helicopter, yeah. So you've been now going for a year and a half, you said earlier, with the brewery. With a really good start. I met you last summer at the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival.
Yes.
You and Cece sat down a little bit and talked. Cece's not with us today. He's working. He's opening today, so
yeah, right.
I got to do the interview today.
Yeah.
How has the experience in the beer industry been for you since starting, and just how's the journey so far?
I mean, it is quite intense for me because I'm doing most things myself. I mean, I'm starting this by myself. I don't have any friends that are co-owners, so I'm doing it by myself. But I have friends that helping me out, but they have no salaries and so I can't. I mean, call too many times. I mean, you have to have it in a level. So time is very difficult for me. But the connection with the restaurants and bars is fantastic. I mean, it has been very because I haven't been so nervous for when I going out to a restaurant or a bar, showing off my beer. That is really nervous to hear or what they're going to say and so. But it has went well. I mean, you and Accurate has been buying the beer and asking for doing this summer pale ale.
Yeah.
It was such an honor just to, get the question, and doing that has also been very nervous to get that right. So that's right. So, but it's difficult because I understand that you have to be more than one person to have a brewery. So that's my next level. I think I have to step up to get help with sales and get help with brewing and so on. So I'm looking for a brewer that could help me to work like part-time.
So if you come through Beer Bubbles and get a job here, you know, you're just looking for a brewer. Yeah, talking about you getting a new brewer and expanding, is that the future plan, like to expand the brewery and become even bigger? And is the plan to stay here and grow within these walls, or are you looking for another place later on? Or
I mean, my first plan was to buy a new brewery after 3 years. Mm. That's my first plan.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to do that because it's fairly challenging with with these times. So, but my goal is to grow, to see what the how big can I be, and also I think in Stockholm. I mean, we have quite a lot of breweries, but no one that is like big brewery like in the micro section. Like yes, you have a few.
Yeah, I mean they're not macro big, of course.
Yeah, but if you look at Gothenburg,
yeah,
you have quite big breweries, and
of course.
That to be. I mean, we have Stockholm Brewing, and you have Omnipolio.
Yeah. Then you have, Half Notch is quite outside Stockholm, but they're quite not super big, but they're quite big. What else do you have? New Carnegie Brewery, but they are owned by Brooklyn, so I don't
really count that.
But they don't really count.
So, but
that's right.
Because their owners are quite rich.
Yeah, this macro owns.
That's not really. But so you don't really. I mean, if
you're right.
you don't have this big. I mean, with lots of people, and you have lots of production, and so because I mean, so that was I am aiming on that, but I'm not sure that because it's so difficult to do it. But you know, when I have been working with my production company, I have also been aiming to make it big, to make a big production company. So. But that's really difficult because you have to have like really good producers. Because when I'm working with a project, the people want to work with me, and if I have another one, like no, then it's not really good. It's easier if you have a beer and you have a concept and you have a recipe, and it's I believe it's easier to build a company. So that's why I'm changing my focus from the production company to television brewing, just to try to work as an entrepreneur more than maybe a brewer, just to try to build this company also. So I mean, you have different challenges.
Of course.
Yeah. It's not only have to brew a good beer. You have to sell it. You have to.
Yeah, and that's a difficult part to get into the market around. I mean, not only the Swedish monopoly Systembolaget is one challenge itself, but getting into the restaurants, that's the big challenge, especially when we have these brewery loans and restaurants that have contracts with the macro breweries.
Yes.
So they don't really have that much space to sell other beers. And even if they do have a little bit of space, I mean, it's a lot of competition to fill up that little space.
Yeah, and it's difficult. And I still haven't really found out how you sell to the restaurants.
We can talk about that outside of it. But it is quite a challenge, yes.
Because, I mean, you really have to do it all the time, because you have to have new beers, you have new batches, and you have to sell it all the time. It's nothing that just coming every week or so that's also different.
I mean, coming from the restaurant side and having had the responsibility to buy in beer at places I worked at, it's quite a fine line when people come to sell their products, even if it's beer or whiskey or whatever it is. How they approach is one thing, and then of course you want to like the product. The product's going to fit the restaurant and what you're making. Maybe not all places think that it should fit a concept, but I do think that when you buy in products, it should fit the concept of the place and what you're trying to do. So it is difficult, but I mean, it's just to be on top of it all the time and talk and sell, and it's quite nerve-wracking going into a place where you don't know anybody and just like put yourself on the table, like here's my idea, here's what I do, because as you're saying, you put a lot of yourself into this, so you're putting yourself on the table, like 100% before the restaurant. So.
Exactly, but actually now it's easier because because of Accurate is selling the beer, and Uti and Stigberg's Food and lots of craft beers bars in Stockholm now are selling the beer, so I feel that I'm in the game.
You definitely.
So now it's like you have to, just work hard,
nurture that, and
exactly,
make it grow. Yeah. Have you sold outside of Stockholm yet, or
no? And I'm aiming only on Stockholm, because I believe it is really, good to be in the biggest town. And it has its challenges, but it has lots of opportunities. So it's better just to try to work in Stockholm, and I want to be a Stockholm brewery. So I want to start here, because I was in Malmö on the festival, and I just understood I shouldn't be in Malmö. Actually, I have to say, they were really nice with me and us, and they were drinking beers, but it was like 1 of 10 that was interested in a Stockholm brewery in Malmö. I mean, they were very interested in from Skåne.
Yeah, the local breweries.
And I understand them. I'm not blaming them, but then I just understood. Okay, I should work in Stockholm and towards the audience in Stockholm for the first. For the second, maybe in Mälardalen, or so you have to expand slowly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't take too much water over your head.
No.
One thing we haven't talked about is you have a tap room.
Yeah.
Once a week? Or
no, once a month.
Once a month. You open. It's about 6 months ago now, or
I think first time was in February.
February, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so not really 6 months, but February, yeah. So not that long ago. Was that always the plan to have a tap room, and is there any plan to open that even more? And probably is, of course, as you're thinking of expanding. But what's the idea behind the tap room, and what's the goal with that?
Okay, so I have the idea is like in two parts, because one part is that I have to pay the rent. I have this location in Vasastan at Västmannagatan in Odenplan. So this is my old production company. So there is the place that I have been working all my life with television, and I have had employees there, and I have big tables and editing stations and so on. So. But when the day I choose to work professionally with television brewing, I didn't had any employees. They had to go, and I only working by myself. So I'm taking easy jobs. So I don't really need the location anymore. So, but I don't want to leave it either. So that's why maybe we should do a tap room. Yeah, that could be a good idea. It's the location is very small, so I have only a permit for local for private events. Okay. So I have to have like a VIP club or invite for companies, or I do like tastings and so on. So I don't have it open for the public. So that's why I only have it open once a month, because it's I don't really have time to have it more like that. But so people have asked me, what are you doing all the other days? It's like on the bank. But if someone is interested in having my tap room and having it open more, so but the challenge is also of the permit. So it's difficult. I have only this club, and I don't know if they will come every night. This club.
It's quite difficult to do it every night. You will also be kind of tired if you do it every night.
Yeah.
With the production company and the brewery, so keep it slow in the beginning and watch it grow. So how's the nights been when you have it open? So it's like an invite list. So you sign up to come.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
So every time I believe that nobody is going to come, but actually it has been really good every night, and every night has been quite different. So it's coming like different people every time. I have a few people that coming every time. It is quite fun. So I've been knowing some new guys and girls there. It's very fun. So it is really working out good. So I'm happy with that.
That is perfect. I mean, having also a tap room, you're able to show your products in your environment, basically, and that's, I think, very good for your brand. People to get to know you. Having your beer at a pub that's not yours is one thing, but coming and meet you personally. Do you work yourself those nights, or you have somebody helping out?
No, I have help, but I'm always there, because I believe that's. It's fun for me. It's fun to meet the people, and also for them to meet me, and we can talk about the beer if they want, or we can talk about anything. It's just fun to hang out. So it's a fun night for me too.
Of course.
So, but I also believe that it's important for the brand to have a tap room. And why not? It is very okay. It's not easy, but it's a good way for a brewery to expand, and we have control over what is happening with the beer, what we're saying to the beer, and what people. If we have news, we know we can communicate with the people in a good way.
It's under your control, so it's good for the market perspective.
Yeah. Maybe the place is a little bit too small.
Yeah.
To have to maybe work with it to take it to the next level. So I think it's good for events and so on, and just small things like tastings or something like that. And then maybe I need to find something else more tables.
Fit more people, yeah. And who knows what the future holds? Maybe you get your own little pub at the end of the day.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Or maybe I can work with someone in a way like that I have because I believe that a good way to start is to have like a joint what's called joint venture that you have like maybe one beer on one tap or something like that.
Isn't there a place in Bromma that has your?
Yeah, I have one place. It's called Bistro Bromma.
Yeah.
And they have 3 taps, and they have always Helle Hopper on one of the taps.
Oh, right, nice.
And that's really great for me. It's fun because I get the connection with the people, because they always know that you have television brewing there, and also it's good. They are selling quite good, lots of beer there, so that's good for me.
It's guaranteed sales for you as well, having a tap that's always yours.
Yes.
That's really nice. One question I wanted to ask is, other than the pills and the IPAs styles you're making, are you planning on making any other styles of beer at the end, or is that just you're gonna keep yourself to that?
Yeah, exactly. If I had time, I would like to make it like a Goese now for the summer. I like that style. Also, I'm really interested in Lambic, and I would like to try to do a Lambic style beer with a local connection. So, but I wouldn't call it Lambic, but
of course, legal reasons.
You understand?
Yeah. The spontaneous fermented style of beer.
Exactly.
The Brettanomyces,
Yes, but talking about Brett is like I'm really scared about that. So I don't really know how. But okay, this house is big, so it might have a plan to.
You should keep it separate. That's the one point. I know a brewery that got infected. It took him 3 years to get it out.
Yeah.
So it's quite a. That yeast type is quite hard to get rid of, and it's delicious when it's done correctly and everything like that. But it's so for example, the tap lines we have at Akkurat, we have 3 tap lines where Brett is allowed. Right. The rest is not. Okay. So Brett beers always goes on the same tap line, nothing else, because if you get an infection, you have to change everything.
Yeah.
But that's a good plan, and you have space to grow here, so. I don't think that it would be.
But that would be fun to work with, like that type of sour beer in some way. So maybe I start with a kettle sour or something easier. I don't know, Also, I would like to do porter, like an oyster porter.
Mhm.
I'm really into oysters. Actually, I think that like champagne is really good to oysters, but porter is also good.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would like to do like a special porter, so I could have the occasion to have lots of oysters and have like a big party, oyster party.
Oyster party at television.
Yeah, exactly. So that is I'm planning. Yeah. But it's quite fun. I still think it's fun to work with IPA and also trying out to make it better and trying out this hazy style, trying to find the process to really get a great flavor. It's not that I'm looking for maximum of hops, but I understand that a lot of amounts. I mean, it's getting a good flavor.
Of course.
But yeah, and it happens so fast, and I'm really also interested in the research and the science about beer. So I'm trying to read and listen to podcasts about the science, and you see over there, this is my yeast lab. It's not really finished yet, but I have like a big plan that I'm going to have a good yeast lab where I have equipment that I can count cells and I can work with yeast for myself and also build it, but also have another type of equipment where I can measure like precursors for thiols. So you can like find good type of malts and a good mix to maximize thiols for and working with yeast are like producing the best tastes from that in this like a chemical perspective.
Yeah.
I'm not really working on that now. I mean, it's more like guessing.
I mean, yeast is such a big component in beer, and I mean, you can brew the exact same beer and put two different kinds of yeast in it, and it will end up completely different. So
Yeah.
that's a good idea to work with. I know this guy called Ken from the US is like a type of blood scientist for blood diseases specifically, but he's also a craft beer nerd. So he has in his lab, he has like a storage for breweries where he has their like main house yeast, so he stores it for them in case something happens, the brewery burns down or anything.
Okay.
And just because you can't recreate that, because they've created that during the years of process to make that type of yeast for the brewery. So it's quite cool how yeast can contain so much flavor that can change the beer completely. So that's really cool that you're building a yeast lab for yourself. I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of plans going on and a lot of things to make happen. So it's really fun to see, and it's fun to watch you grow and see you from the beginning now, almost the beginning, and because you've been growing really fast, and it's really fun to see, and all the power to breweries that focus on making good beer, good clean beer that are drinkable and taste really good. So it's really fun to see, for my sake, and it's really easy to sell when it's like that.
Thank you.
No, it's all right. It's my pleasure. It's you had a few. You were supposed to do a tasting, but it ended up being like a hangout night at that as well. Have you had any other tastings or anything at other places?
Yeah, I have been having tasting at my tap room. So I have a few private tastings that I having there. So it's that's also nerve-wracking.
Of course.
I haven't done it so much, but it's quite fun, and I haven't been. Yeah, it's like it's very very interesting to to talk about the process, and so I believe that I'm doing the beer in my way, and if someone is interested in how the process is, it's very fun to talk about that and tell them and learn them new things about brewing or a different thing about brewing. So yeah.
That's also the beautiful thing about our business, even if it comes to the restaurant side or the brewing side. It's very open-minded, and everybody's really helpful, and there's 98% of the time there's no like snobs or anything. Like there are snobs, of course, but not in the sense that it's overwhelming. It's most people in this business are very open and kind and happy to share.
And I really want to say that Bryggverket from Umeå, Patrick there, he is so cool and kind guy, because he helped me a lot, because I have been asking him a lot of questions.
Oh yeah.
Because we just met on a festival. And because I liked his IPA and said, "Oh, this is the best IPA on this festival." I'm like, "Oh yeah, thank you." And he told me that he has also, like me, no education about brewing. It's self-learned, and he has been talking and asking a lot people, and he said, "You have to pay it back, pay it forward."
Yeah.
And he paid it forward to me. So I have been, sometimes I got this brew house stocked, and I didn't know what to do. So I called him, and he gave me some advices, and it worked out. And that is really, really kind, and and now I'm trying. I haven't really had a chance to pay it forward, but I will if the occasion comes. And
when opportunity shows, we should pay it forward and teach each other. For example, when I started working at Akkurat, I didn't really know Belgian beers. I didn't know anything about vintage beer, like storing beer, because Akkurat is very unique when it comes to having that beer cellar. The only way I could learn was to ask questions, and so I had these two guys working there, Johan and Christian, which is not with Akkurat anymore, but I think I asked so many questions they got tired of me. but still, I can still to this day ask them questions. And my knowledge has expanded extremely much thanks to me asking those questions and them being kind enough and willing to learn, teach me, and that's really appreciating at my side. And so when somebody comes in and wants to talk about it and wants to learn, of course I'll happily share. And with colleagues having questions, we should always answer, and not, because if you keep the knowledge to yourself, the business can't grow, the interest and the fans around this can't grow. So if we all are open-minded, it's going to be so much better for everybody, because the more we learn, everybody, the better beer we're going to have. And we all love to have good beer. So,
exactly.
So the people that keeps all for themselves, I don't think that's the right way.
No, I don't believe that. Information wants to be free.
Exactly. Information is also power, so and everybody should have it. So.
Yeah, but what's happening is happening.
Yeah, of course. But it's really nice to hear that you have, found the connection with other brewers and starting to build your own fan base. And I think that's the foundation of building a brewery.
Also, someone has asked me for doing a collab also.
Oh.
We haven't done it yet, so I'm not going to say who, but you know who they are.
I probably do, yeah.
So I hope that will turn out, and that also is very fun just to get the question. Because it feels like I'm slowly getting into the business also in the brewing side, because I don't really have lots of colleagues in the brewing industry. Because I'm coming from television.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to know some brewers, and that is really cool.
I mean, yeah, as you said, you're completely new in this business, and you're still learning about the business while you're working in the business.
Yeah.
So it's, keep working and doing that. I think you're on a good way. You have a good foundation set, and I think it's gonna be good. I think your beer scout is starting to.
Yeah, we need to check it, I think.
Yeah, you should check it. Felix, thank you so much for being in the Beer Bubbles podcast. Is there anything else you would like to add or anything?
Go to Accurate and drink the summer pale ale.
It's on tap this entire summer. We have a few kegs left. I can see them over there. Yeah. So it's going to be on at least until August.
Yeah, we hope
sometime. So. If it doesn't go out before that, but it's a really nice 4.8% hazy pale ale, very light, fruity, easy bitterness. It's quenchable as fuck, as you say.
Yeah.
And it's very enjoyable. Thank you so much, Fredrik.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this time. Thank you very much to Accurate, Elite Hotels, and Bishop Arms for sponsoring us so we can do this. And don't forget to check out our Patreon, our web shop, and our social medias. See you, and whatever you do, drink better beer.
Ha ha ha!